Okay.
Luke Harper got his release. The Ascension got the release. Cara got his release. We know that all of them had asked for it. Have you heard anything? Because, are there any more releases coming down the pipe? Have you heard anything?
I heard rumors that there were NXT releases being discussed for January or February. I was told there were a possible number of variables that could go into that. I'm not equipped to really address, but based on quarterly numbers and a lot of stuff for the future, but the thing is, the NXT roster is bloated, and they're running out of locker space. I mean, I can't remember how far back, but somebody had told me that Kushida didn't even have a locker yet, and I'm like, that's the kind of guy who should probably just have one as soon as you sign him. But yeah, I've heard that more from NXT could be coming. Mike Kanellis is still under contract, from what I understand. A lot of people asking what's up with Matt Hardy. He's still under contract until the beginning of March. That's what I've heard. And the people that I talk to within WWE all seem happy for Harper, Sin Cara, and the Ascension. Seems like they all wanted it. The Ascension had not been on WWE TV since the beginning of April.
Yeah.
A lot of people asking, where do you think they'll go next? I think the Ascension will probably get like one-off opportunities in like NWA and MLW and stuff like that. But there were a lot of people that were like, oh man, they abused the Ascension. I'm like, no, they didn't. They tried to push them. Upon arrival, they beat New Day and the New Age Outlaws and Goldust and Stardust and Miz and Mizdow and the Primetime Players. Just because of that JBL promo doesn't mean that they were dead in the water. They ruled over a very thin NXT tag team division. Yeah. Jimmy, do you remember when they had to bring in Too Cool to face the Ascension on a takeover?
It was big news at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a blossoming tag division. Luke Harper is going to work anywhere he damn well pleases.
I agree.
Anywhere. And he wanted out, and I was told by people that had worked with him, it seemed like Vince McMahon had his mind made up on him a long time ago. Sin Cara, it would shock me if he didn't fight for Combate Americas next year.
That was actually on my list. We'll get to that in a minute, but I want to address the Ascension thing first. So in the past, I've used the analogy of Dancing Homer. And if you're a Simpsons fan, you know what I'm talking about. Dancing Homer, it was a character Homer Simpson did where he was the mascot for the minor league baseball team. He was a big success with the minor league team. He got called up to the majors, and when he did his act in front of the major league crowd, they crapped all over him because the act didn't work in front of that audience, and he ended up back down in the minors. The reason I'm mentioning that is there are certain guys who, when they got called up from NXT, you could kind of see almost right out of the chute that it wasn't going to work. I know with Bo Dallas, when he started on the main roster, I didn't see how that was going to work with the Bo Leaf thing. When Adam Rose was called up doing the dancing around the ring, I didn't understand how that was going to work on the main roster. And the Ascension was another one where I saw these two guys, especially Victor, who, Victor is not the biggest guy out there acting like Road Warrior Hawk. I didn't see how that was going to work on the main roster, and none of them worked. None of them were grasped by the fans of the main roster. To me, again, it was a Dancing Homer analogy. Not everything is going to work on the big stage that works in NXT, and that was kind of what happened with that.